how to edit your photographs in the style of Jelle Martens. So first of all, I need to open 2 different images. So I'm going to go to my desktop. Okay, and then from there I need to start to put elements of those images into my blank document. Okay, so if you look at Jelle Martens' work, you can see that it's snippets of different images using triangles, majority of it, and then each time they've been edited slightly, they have like another tone to them. So some are obviously block toned out, or some are actually still the image underneath, but they might have played around with the hue and saturation just in those sections. So I'm going to show you the 2 ways of doing so. So I get my image, I unlock the layer, so I double click on that layer, and then using my move tool, I click my picture and I drag it up to where I want it to be. So from here, I'm going to edit, transform and scale. I'm going to change my image, holding down the shift key so the image stays in proportion. So now I want to get it so I've got like the most creative elements of there. So I click my return key in order to keep apply the shape and the size. So again, I unlock my second layer and using my move tool, so this time I can close that layer down because I don't need that one anymore. So I've now got my move tool and I'm moving it over into the Jelle Martens edit where I'm working on. So again, I'll need to do the same. So I've got my edit, transform and scale, holding down the shift key again. So I have the relevant size of where I need it to be. So again, once I've got it where I want it to be, in the most, we'll go that side, okay, where I want it to be, I click my return key. Okay, so from here now I will need to search on the internet for a shape. So we're using a triangle because that's what Jelle Martens majority uses. So I've got my triangle, I need to move, if I select, so it's edit, copy, I go to where I want it to be and edit, paste. I now need to change the size of it so it's tiny. So again, making it bigger. And then I also want to rotate it round. So if we look at Jelle Martens, the points are obviously on the side slightly. So I find with my image where I want it to be, use the move tool, make sure I can pick up the appropriate layer, using the move tool to position where I want it to be. So from here now, okay, I'm going to use my magic wand tool. So that's holding down my quick selection tool, selecting that area. So the first one I'm going to do is show you how it manipulates the colours. So by doing so, you have your edit, adjustments, and you've got colour balance. So from here, I can change these just in that area. Oh, what have I not done? Cancel that. I have not selected the colour of where I want it to be. So start again. So I go to my image, adjustments, colour balance, and then those start to change just in that area there. So once I've got it to where I want it to be, I'll then click OK. And then I do my select and deselect for my running ants. I then use my move tool again to use my triangle. This time I'm going to make it so it's sort of tessellated. So I'll need to flip that round so it fits within what I am doing. So if you make sure you've not got a gap between your angles, you have that crisp line, I will then position where my next one's going to be. So this time I'm going to unreveal the layer underneath. So again, I'll do my quick selection. On this layer, I am now going to delete that section. So I'm starting to pick up the layer underneath. So I've got my select and deselect, and then using my layer again, I might not edit something in this one. Actually, let's go back. I'll edit slightly. So I'm going to go to my image adjustments. I might just play around with the brightness and contrast on there just to give it a little bit more vibrance and depth to it. So make my contrast a little bit higher and then click OK. So I select and deselect. I go back to my layer and then I do my image adjustments, rotate. So then using my move tool again, I am going to, oh, what have I not done? Edit, undo, move. I didn't use the right layer by doing so. So from here, I'm going to move it over. And then I'm going to use my magic wand, and I'm still going to have that layer coming back on there. So by doing so, I'm going to use my layer of where I want it to be, and then I've got my image, my adjustments, my colour balance again, and this time I might play around with the same. So I'll go for the same sort of like colours in there. So I'm manipulating that again, and then I'll repeat it on my next one again. So I select my right layer, image, transform, flip that round, using my move tool, make sure it's on the right layer. I'm then going to repeat the same thing again. So I'm going to remove that layer. So if I go to my magic wand, I'm going to select the right layer of the area that I want it to delete, so it's underneath the layer that I'm looking at. And then I only might tweak it slightly by doing either brightness and contrast, or I can play around with my levels. So I would do that throughout the whole image. So then when you're looking at Jelle Martens style, you can see that the work has got the images in there, and you've got the abstract manipulation going on with it too. So then if I repeat the same thing again, I've got my right layer, image, transform, and I'm flipping it, bringing it down again. This time, rather than it being like a repeat pattern, I might do the same as what I've done next to it. So I've got my magic wand, so it doesn't need to be the proper repeat the same. I might then want to use that layer, take that section out, but then this time I might want to manipulate that slightly. So it's never going to look as it normally would on the full layer. So this way, I'm going to rotate it. Start again. So using magic wand, select that area. Once I go down onto the layer I need it to be on, I'll do my edit, transform, and rotate. So I'm going to rotate that image so it fits where I want it to be. And then I will move it up to fit the triangle area. So again, I'll do my image, adjustments, and I might change the levels on this one. So I'm playing around to make it either a bit more faded and a bit more antique looking. So then I do my select and deselect. If I take that layer out, I'm moving on to my next layer. So once that's done, because I've got this border at the side, I would do it all the way round. I would make sure I have a nice crisp edge, and I go to my image and crop. So now I have that simplistic edge throughout the entire study.